How do you do, everybody? I'm artist Brian Sheffield. It's good to have you with me today. We're going to do a really simple moonlight piece for you today with a tree and an owl sitting in it, and we're going to call it Mr. Owl. And you're going to be using a number one. Let me see, what number is this? A number 1 script liner. You're going to be using a number 8 filbert. I got a piece of cardboard here that's shaped like a teardrop. You can see it fits in the palm of my hand. And we're going to be using that, and we're going to be using white, light blue, dark blue, purple, and black. And let's get started. You want to start off with some white, and load up your filbert brush really good, and just brush it in a general fashion. Doesn't have to be any particular kind of way. Just kind of get it up and down the canvas a little bit, just like this. I know you really can't see it yet, but it'll come out. It'll come out in the painting. Go to your light blue. And you'll be able to see your paint shining a little bit, so you want to go to the outside edges of that. And just kind of brush in some of this color, just a little bit. Just like this. It's really simple. Go to that bottom edge and knock in some color there. We're also going to be using a 2-inch flat brush for blending colors. I've got one here that's well used. I've used it a lot, and it's really got a lot of wear on it. And when you start breaking them in like that, that's whenever they get better. These brushes get better over time, up to a certain point. Okay, then you go to your dark blue. Remember, the darker you go, the less color you want to use. So you don't want as much color. Just kind of come in and colorize this canvas. Remember to fill in the weave fabric of them canvas there. Make sure you get enough paint down to give you a nice smooth finish. Because whenever you come back with that 2-inch brush, you're going to use it to blend all these colors together. Alright, next you go to your purple. Remember, you still got 2 more colors. You still got this purple and this black to go. Remember, I said to use less and less. So you want to kind of hit this purple just in little spots here and there, and kind of go around with it in an abstract way, just like this. Remember, stay away from that light. You want to do it in a kind of a pattern that's going to add shine to your painting from a central point. Just keep going like this, putting in this purple, and it's all going to blend together at the end here in just a minute whenever you get that 2-inch brush. And what you want to do is you want to get that 2-inch brush damp. You want to run it in some water and then sling it out as hard as you can. And you barely want that 2-inch brush damp. You don't want any water coming off at all. You just want the bristles just a little bit damp. And when you blend this. Okay, so now let's come in with our black. You come in just on the edges now. And brush it just like this. Remember when you're coming in to be real easy with it. And just kind of brush along the edges a little bit like this and just kind of darken it here along the edges. And when you pull that color in, when you blend this all together, it'll all come together in a night scene. And then you can come in with some mountains and stuff down here, just some basic mountains. Like I said, this is just an easy beginner tutorial to what it is, the type of art that I do. And you can use this as a basis for what I call color stacking. A lot of spray paint artists will stack their color and then rip it up and create a dramatic thing. And the way you can do that with acrylic paint is to stack colors and blend it like what I'm fixing to do. And you really get that dramatic sky effect like you're looking for. So you want to make sure that there's really no moisture, excess moisture. You just want the bristles barely damp. And you come in and you blend these colors together. And make sure you get all, you don't, make sure you don't see none of the weave of the canvas. You can redamp your brush if you need to. I might need to. And don't worry if you get a little color there in the middle. We can rewrite that with some white, so it's fine. I'm going to have to redamp my bristles. Get some of that paint out of there so it's more of a clean look. So you want to keep your bristles clean. So it's okay to like that, and then you come back in here and you hear that sound? You're barely touching the canvas when you do this. And when you do that, what it does is it blends that, where that white was, where that dark came in on that white, and it kind of grays it out and smooths it out and gives you a nice even layer across the canvas and blends that color together at the same time. If you do it right, I need to go get just a little bit more water. Rinse my brush out again, get that color out of there. And you just come back and continue blending. Remember, this is a water-based acrylic paint. And the reason you got this dark line across the bottom is that's where you're going to put your mountains at. Okay? That's going to give you a dark background for them to stand out on. And then you got your sky up here all lit up. Now you have two choices. When you get to this point, you can highlight the sky some more and use a script liner, or you can leave it basic like it is and just put a moon like right here in the brightest spot, right in the middle there. Just like that. And you can bring your palette back over. Now that I'm done with my brush, you bring your palette back over. And we'll get our brushes on the outside there. And get some white laid down. I've got some other colors there that's still on the palette, so we can use those. Now, it depends on what size moon you want. I'm not really going to do a huge moon. I'm going to do just a little bit. Mix some white and blue. But you don't have to mix it really, really well. But you just make the basic shape, and you can come back and tighten this up in a little bit. And you just lay this color in there. Okay, then you roll your brush like this and get the excess off the edge of your brush, and then barely dip in that, because you want it on the tip. You want your paint on the tip. That's why I rolled that brush. And then you come in with this fine line. Make the shape of your moon. Like I said, it don't have to be perfect. There's really not a whole lot in life that's perfect, so you just kind of, on these hard edges, you just kind of pull it out like that towards the inside, and it gets rid of that sharp edge, and will give you almost a realistic looking moon. Just that easy. The shape of the moon is the hardest part. Getting that rounded shape like you want. These bristles are trying to separate. I'm going to have to work on this brush. Got to remove a couple of bristles, it looks like. Okay, I'm having a really hard time with this moon today. Okay, that's better. Okay, now that you got that done, good grief, that was a task. Still ain't done. All right. Boy, these moons can be tough, people. All right, so now what you want to do is you want to just barely line the edge of this straight up and down. Just like that. Leaving a very fine line edge of paint, and it'll brighten it on the edge. It'll really, really brighten. You have to really be easy with it when you're doing that. And then draw in a couple of lines like this. Because the actual moon has a place where asteroids and stuff has hit it and exploded, so you know, you kind of throw that off in there like that. And this is where it gets fun, everybody. You're going to go to your piece of cardboard here that I got. It's cut like a teardrop. And you can see it's about as long as my middle finger or one of my fingers. It's about as long as one of my fingers. And it gives you good control. You're going to use just the edge of it. You're going to pick up more than one color at a time. But it's important is which color you pick up. You want to go darkest first and lightest last. Because the last color you pick up is the first color that's going to go down. So you pick up a little bit of black, just a touch of purple, a little bit of blue, and some of this white, a good bit of this white, and you want it to look just like this on your thing. And on your edge here you got your white, and you notice furthest away you got your black. So that black will be the last thing to go down. So you come up here like this. And you scrub that in, and you can make mountains with it. Remember, darkest to lightest. It's your lightest last. You come along this edge, and you can make a mountain. And it pulls out and comes out in an abstract fashion all by itself and makes mountains. It's really a cool effect. You're barely using just barely a little bit of paint at a time. I always use about 3 times as much white as anything else. So remember that to keep your painting brighter. It is a moonlight scene. Just like that. And don't be afraid to lay more paint down as you need it. Anyway, you just kind of keep on this using varying color patterns. Anyway, you just kind of work this just like this. And you continue along with that until you get all the way across. And then we'll do something with this landscape down here and come up with a tree. But I want to finish my mountains all the way. Alright, now that you got your mountains done all the way across, you got your moon more or less finished out. We're just going to leave it basic like that because this is just a basic piece of art. Relay out your colors. a little spot of each. And we're going to color in the bottom part of the canvas here. And you're going to be using your filbert brush to do that. And all you're going to do is you're going to mix all these colors together and just fill it in. That's all you're going to do. And it'd be like making a base is all you're really doing. You just get a little bit of each one of the color here and let it all mix in the brush. And just come in and brush it in. Just get as much paint as you need. Now don't come up into, don't brush up into your mountains there. Maybe a little bit like that, but not, you don't want to cover up none of that detail that you work so hard on. Just kind of leave that like it is. And just brush out this canvas. Kind of scrub it in there, and that way it'll go into the pores of the canvas, and it'll be a nice painting for a while. When you scrub a canvas like that, it pushes the paint down inside the canvas. I mean, not down inside of it, but it goes down in between the weave, and it'll give your paint a more flat appearance. So that the highlights and stuff is what gives your painting the depth. Now you can use palette knives and give relief to a painting, but we might do something like that later on. But just for this piece, we're just going to be using these few little simple brushes that really don't cost a whole lot. If you don't make a whole lot of money, you can get like one brush every couple of weeks until you get all your materials together, and then there you go. You can make something nice for your house. Anyway, you just kind of brush it out like that, and always rinse your brushes out. When you're done, and remember to sling the water out of the bristles good so that you have a nice I don't want to say dry brush, but anyway, for this next step, what I want to do is I want to create a place for a waterfall. So I've got some good blues and purples going on here with some white, and you can see where this comes down and kind of boom, it stops right there, and then this one comes down, bam, right there, and then there's a little white piece that we can highlight with our #1 script liner. And you come in right where that is, and you draw a line just like this, and you make like a U shape, and you come back up and you bring it into that next mountain just like that, and then you get your little flat deal, your little teardrop cardboard we've been using to make the mountains with, and pick up a little black and a little purple and a little blue, and you kind of mix it and pick it back up, and then right there at the bottom of that curve you want to kind of go back and forth and come down with it, and then maybe come across, and you want to kind of darken it just a little bit. And you do like this, and you kind of go in a zigzag pattern, just like that, and it sets you a riverbed. That's what that does. And you will come back with your script liner, and right there, you just pull straight down. I'm going to do this upside down so y'all can see, because I paint better upside down. So you just flick your brush like this, and it'll give the appearance of a waterfall. just like that. Okay, and then you go back to your cardboard here, and you pick up your colors, and this time don't mix them. Just let them stay there, just like you did the mountains, and come in right at the bottom here, and just kind of tap up and down, just like this, and that color will variate. And it'll give you the appearance of water running down like a little riverbed there. Looks like I'm gonna have to lay down just a little bit more white. But you don't want to completely blend that color. You want it to kind of be variated. It'll make it look like it's running over rocks or something like that. And you just come down like that, and you want to continue along with what you were doing on your mountains. Okay, now that you've set a place for your waterfall, you can bring another mountain in. And remember, it gets darker and darker as it goes, and you go up right to the edge. Uh-oh. I made a boo-boo, you see that? I made a mistake, so you can just come back and re-highlight that. It's okay if you make a mistake, you ain't got to freak out. It'll be fine. Anyway, you just come in with it like this, up to the edge. Don't go all the way into your just like this. Then you can come in down here somewhere, and I usually like to make my signature almost part of the art. Kind of try to hide my signature, but that's just the way that I do it. Some people like their signature to be more prevalent, where you can tell who did it, and I'm not that narcissistic, so I like to make my signature part of the art. Kind of like hide and go seek that way. Okay, remember, you get your black, purple, blue, light blue, and then white. Come in across here. And all you want to do really is kind of create variation off in there. And it'll give you the appearance of land that way. And once you work with this piece of cardboard like this for a little while, and you do 2 or 3 of these paintings, you're going to get really good at it. You know, you're going to get really good at it, and people are going to say, wow, man, where did you learn how to do that? And you know, you don't have to share your secret if you don't want to, or if you want to say, hey man, watch this guy, he'll tell you exactly how to do it. I mean, it's always nice when people share your stuff. It kind of makes you feel good. But it's always cool to have a little secret. You know, you just say, yeah, you smile your little smile, and because they think that you know something that they don't, because you really do know something that they don't. See, and that's the cool part. You know how to do something that they can't do. But using this method, you're going to have a little bit of relief in there like you would with a palette knife, because it leaves thick ridges in there. And so it does have kind of a palette knife effect a little bit. So it has relief when you look at it. Anyway, you come off with something kind of sort of like that, and you want to do a few little highlights. Now remember, you want to keep your brightest highlights on the top of your range there of a rock or whatever, because that's what's going to be given the reflection of the moonlight, would be that sharpest point. And you don't have to highlight all of it, just some of it. Well, you can come in there like that, and let's highlight these clouds just a little bit. And I want to go the brightest at the bottom, depending on where the moon's at. Like up here, I want to go here, because it's where the light would be shining on the top of a cloud, because the light would be going this way, so it would shine out through the top of the cloud. If it's going this way, you would want to highlight down here like this. See where that brightest is this way and the dark's that way, and it gives the appearance of it shining off the bottom of a cloud. And up here you want to come off on the where the brightest is below and the darkest is above, because the light's shining this way. And anyway, a painting like this is really easy. It's, you know, anybody can do it, and it's a lot of fun. You can put all kind of striations in here like this and end up doing some really crazy and wild stuff. But I'm fixing to be calling it done. And I hope y'all have enjoyed this little piece as much as I have. I'm gonna call it Moonlight Ridge, and y'all have a good day. Okay, everybody, this sat on my wall for a minute. I wasn't completely happy with it, so we're gonna go do one more little step, maybe two. Anyway, you go back to your script liner. Damn it, I forgot to rinse that out. Anyway, you use geometry here on your waterfall. This is the part I'm not happy with. And where it comes in right here. This is coming up, and you need a downward slope to where the waterfall begins right there. So, kind of put a jagged line coming up this way and combining up there, and that'll add it'll give the land, it's a little bit better landscape that way. And here your water, if you want to define this water line, you come here to the bottom of where that color is, and you pop in a white line, but you want to kind of work your way down and across to your brightest point on the other side, like that. Okay, and then you drag down, just like you did up here, into your where that little white, and then you kind of come in here like this, and it makes it look like that water splashing right there. And then you do the same thing over here. You kind of come down in the opposite direction over here, and you drag down a little bit, little marks, like that, and it'll make it look like it's falling off a little cliffs. And then you continue along and you do your little zigzag pattern. That's really what you're doing, is a little zigzag pattern. And you just kind of tap in that color right there, that white, to make it, give it that splash. Just like that. And that's a lot better. I like that a lot better. And we're going to call this Moonlight Ridge. God bless, and y'all have a good one. Okay, everybody. One little last edit. I put it up on the wall again, and I was like, something's missing. Even though it's simple art, you kind of want the top to pop out like the bottom is. So you want to kind of balance it out. So what you do is you just put your finger in there just like that. You get some paint on the end of your finger, and you bam, 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 and throw some stars. You can even say bam, bam if you want to. You don't have to, but I like to. Bam, 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 and you throw some stars off in there just like that. Be careful not to hit that moon or your mountains, and kind of concentrate them towards the top. Just like that. And you can get your hands in there. Remember, this paint's non-toxic. Acrylic paint, this water-based acrylic paint is non-toxic. And it's okay to get it on your fingers and you can wipe it off. I wear certain paint clothes, so it's okay. I'll wipe it off on my jeans. And there you go, everybody. Y'all have a good day now.